you
I promise.
Gaming. I started off my gaming career much the same way a lot of you guys did, playing on a console that belonged to someone else. In my case, it was an N64, a PS2, and every single game was like a portal to a piece of art that you could actually interact with. Ocarina of Time has this unique polygonal aesthetic, a remarkable soundtrack, and sound effects that don't even exist in real life. Zelda was a different world for me. The same could be said about Spyro, weird-ass music, a vibe I haven't caught in any preceding game, and you're a dragon on a skateboard. Devil May Cry, Super Mario 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Jak and Daxter. Gaming allows you to go on journeys to the impossible and forge relationships with the imaginary. Why the f am I in debt to a raccoon? Raccoons are eating ravenous dirt cats. Helen Keller's last words were, "I'm deaf, I'm blind, but at least I'm not a f***ing raccoon or a small dog, or a League player or an Idol anime fan." But here I am, or a CSGO player. But here I am, in a at least I'm not white, but here I am, in a subservient position picking weeds for Tom Nook when I have a near limitless amount of worlds to discover and immerse myself in. I think there's something to that that's worth exploring, especially since this is my first ever Animal Crossing game. So today we're going to cover what it's about, if it's fun, why it's fun, and is it worth 60 bucks? In Animal Crossing, your role is to develop an island from scratch. This entails completing a series of menial day-to-day tasks in real time. At first, we'll talk about it. So this guy Tom is the leader of a new island and contracts you to do all the heavy lifting. This means pick up a bunch of sticks, and then we want a bridge, and we also want you to upgrade our store. Could you do all the work? Hey, would you mind picking up bones of shit? Yeah, he's shit everywhere. Are you compensated for any of this? Absolutely not, but that's not the point here. What's initially a chore simulator gradually meatballs into your own personal world. Make money, catch bugs, go fishing and fill up your museum, fit your house where you want, put other people's houses where you want, it's yours. And that brings me to a clue into why the game is so fun despite all the tedium. It's immersive. You can do whatever you want in this game. You're awarded a wealth of customization options that make the world and your impact real. You can tweak every flower in your island all the way to every bridge and pond. Personally, I really enjoyed shopping for clothes, a lot, but that's not all. There's hundreds of pieces of furniture and items, so you can easily wind up spending hours and hours tweaking your house, making bathrooms, gardens, whatever. I've even acquired a meth lab. If you really want to see what you can do, there's this dude on YouTube who visits random people's islands to see what they come up with, and it's just insane the type of shit that people can pull off. There's also hands-on objectives that directly affect the state of your island, like picking where people live and where the shops are located. You're pretty much in full control.
is because now, bro, did you? You're proud of that? That's something you're proud of?
Yeah.
Just show me the f***ing house, man. I didn't come for that.
But a bit of what makes me feel just a tad bit more immersed lies in what you can control. Sometimes you walk in on the villagers stretching, sometimes they're singing. Every once in a while this little dog villager will take off Naruto running. I don't know what the f***'s wrong with him or what motivates him to do that, he just does it. You know what, now that I think about it, there always was a bit of madness behind those eyes.
Yeah, he shit everywhere.
Bones, at least leave them something for their families to bury. They're just kids, God.
You wanna know why they call me Bones?
And sometimes my best friend Sprocket will even send me letters wishing me well. He's just a nice guy. If you talk to one of the shopkeepers every day, she'll be stoic and quiet, but the longer you persist, the more she opens up until you guys become best friends. These random encounters, and not so random, engage the player and make them feel like a part of the world. It makes you a real villager. My final little point is the music. Honestly, wasn't feeling the music in this game compared to the tracks I've heard before. Old songs like 5 p.m., 1 p.m., and my favorite, 7 p.m. from New Leaf just bop. The hourly songs in this game are just kinda but one thing I really wasn't expecting to make me feel like I was on my own island was the custom themes. You can make your own little song that the islanders sing and reference all the time, so I made mine the Beastars opening. This made walking into a store for the first time crazy! If you're curious, there's a site where you can search up all sorts of themes from games or songs you may know. But it doesn't stop there. When you walk into different sections of the museum, different versions of the same track play. The main entrance is real calm and cool, but when you walk into the fish exhibit, it's real quiet and underwater sounding. And when you go back to the fossil exhibit, it's still chill, but oh! God damn it, boys, we found him. Tell the president we found the origin of swag.
Rachel, you big, fat, white, nasty, smelling fat bitch!
When it rains, every song for each hour is a little different, and the shop closing theme, it is one of the most beautiful and cinematic songs in recent memory coming from a game. Genuinely sounds like something from a Pixar movie. The soundtrack, customization, interaction with the player all work in tandem to create a wonderfully inclusive experience. It was not only a good way to finesse me into doing chores for fun, but it enhanced the time I spent with others. Sending mail like it was real, taking a trip to the museum, taking pics with the villagers, you get what I'm saying. Because I'm immersed in the game, I don't just feel obligated to maintain the state of the island and my relationships with the people there, I want to. This game has me to where I actually found myself getting excited to pay off a loan. I don't know you, and this money isn't real. But as you know, immersion alone does not make something good. If that were the case, Wendy Williams would be my favorite celebrity. I would have a goddamn shrine for Wendy Williams. Because when I turn on the TV and sit on my couch, I think to myself, yeah, this is probably what getting a TED Talk from a bug is like. I can almost hear her eyeballs move and excrete moisture. You know that meme of Phineas looking forward? Just because I feel like I'm there does not make the source material good. So let's explore another piece of what I think makes Animal Crossing so fun. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure humans have an obsession with progression, especially kids. So what do? We start working out and take progress pics. We measure our wieners, or as a kid you made little notches on your wall to measure your height. We love feeling like we're improving, and one thing I've noticed about games is they're real good at monopolizing this feeling. For example, the leveling system, maybe different tiers of tools in Minecraft, hard containers, you get the deal. You receive an objective marker of progress and we feel good, a lot of times way quicker than we would in real life. And if you notice, it's not usually until it feels like you're no longer making progress that you get bored of a game. When there's no more hard bosses or no more good loot to be found, you kind of drop it. But for the same reason that I think Minecraft is still played, Animal Crossing excels. Because the porn is really good. But also, a big part of progressing in the game lies in self-imposed objectives. My friend and I started a Minecraft world a while ago with the objective of taking over this mansion that I found. Along the way, we found ourselves needing to complete a bunch of mini goals that helped us progress towards robbing the natives. It's alright though, Bones said he wanted to give them some blankets as compensation. We needed a farm, so we made a farm. Our house was dumb, so we made a cool one, and stuff like this had us hooked on the game every night. Same kind of thing with Animal Crossing. While playing the game, you create mini landmarks and objectives in your head and steadily work for them day by day. Maybe you want to upgrade your house or want more bridges to get around easier. You need money to do half the shit you want, so you can either try your hand at the stock market for a chance at turning a huge profit or settle down and tend to the fields. There's a constant list of shit I want to do and shit I'm doing that keeps the game fresh and makes you feel like you're actually getting something done, which is vital for a game like this. Games with longevity need to keep you stimulated. The reason Skyrim is still a thing is because people can mod in new and exciting concepts. Animal Crossing, on the other hand, stays fun because you're always finding new things to do and accomplish. I am currently 55 hours deep in the game and my island still looks horrible. That's because I've gotten rid of all the rivers, planted a bunch of flowers because I really like planting flowers for some reason, and started flattening out the top layer. That's 3 major projects all following a clear line of progression in my head to have a perfect island, and I enjoyed pretty much all of it. If you want to see what a normal person's island might look like, the chick I was playing with made a really neat and cute one. Despite putting in way more time than myself and having a much more completed island, there's still tons to do. But is the gameplay perfect? It feels like the designers weren't allowed to play the game during development sometimes. Do you remember when people had the problem with the beans in Red Dead Redemption? Every time you pick something up, it would play a really long animation, so if you wanted to pick up a bunch of stuff, you would have to sit through that same long, pointless animation every single time. In Animal Crossing, the store is the beans, and the crafting is the beans, and this piece of shit dodo is the beans. The tools are the beans until you buy an item that you should have had in the first place. There's tedium like picking weeds and picking fruit, and that's an aspect of the game that's fair. I actually enjoy doing those things. But when I go to the grocery store, I expect to be able to buy 16 Kit Kats if I choose to do so. Don't ask me no questions. Matter of fact, I usually steal the candy, so this was a horrible example. But you go to the store in Animal Crossing and they ask, so do you want 1 or 5? What? 1 or 5? So you have to go back and try purchasing it again while mashing B because A doesn't speed up dialogue, fuck that up and accidentally end the conversation, enter the dialogue again, buy the thing again, repeat for however much you need. And it's weird because when you buy turnips, the chick lets you tell her exactly how much you want, but you can't do that anywhere else. Here's a major problem I have, one that actually matters a bit more. Maybe I'm stupid, I have no problem admitting that, but I feel like Stevie Wonder on a fucking slip and slide when I do anything in this game. When you want to set something somewhere, you only have a vague idea of where it's going to go down. If you want to dig up some flowers, it turns you 30 degrees to dig up the other thing over there. If you're putting down fences, it plops them down in the opposite direction of where you want. It's ridiculous. Every building game has a sort of grid or decent preview system. Minecraft has a grid, Terraria has a grid, even Fallout lets you rotate and move things around before you place them, and Animal Crossing actually has this. When you're in your room, you can move around and snap stuff to a grid, just nowhere else. And this is a big problem because I have an entire town to move. If I move a house and it's just slightly off because I'm stupid and the preview system is a dumb static image that doesn't give you any perspective, that's another 50k to move it somewhere, then another 50k to move it back because it can't be built on top of itself. Final issue I'm going to cover, and I have a list, but I'm being real nice. Fishing is the most f***ed up, unethical, inhumane, cruel mechanic I felt in a while. Do you remember on Game Grumps when Aaron had the Foggy meltdown?
Eat it, you piece of shit! F***ing eat it! What are you doing? What the f***, dude?
It's definitely not anywhere close to Aaron's pain, but watching that video I felt a lot of parallels. So unlike bugs, you can't tell a fish you're catching until you reel them in, and unlike fossils, they actually require a small amount of time and effort on your part. In regards to the fishing rod, the controls are about as tight as goose pussy. Unless you perform a pixel-perfect, buttery smooth cast, the fish will not f*** with your bait. And it has to be directly in front of them. Too close? Nah. Too far to the right? Nah. So you have to guess where your stupid Dumbo character is going to throw the rod, recast because I know you messed that up the first 5 times, wait for the fish to realize it has food dangling in front of it, and wait for the correct bite, and maybe it won't be a boot, a tire, a tin can, an egg, or a pale chub.
And it's a tin can. Awesome.
For what fishing is, the returns are horrible. I went fishing for 25 minutes, filling my inventory with the rarest fish I could get, throwing out the more common ones when I could. Not an entirely stacked inventory, but realistically, are you going to have an empty inventory to go fishing? After 25 minutes, I amassed a total of about 23,000 bells worth of fish. For scale, if I pick all the fruit in my orchard, which took me exactly 4 minutes, that pays out 48,000 bells. I also get a passive amount of 30k a day from money trees. Fishing sucks and could be fixed so easily. Just A, let me see the fish before I catch it. B, increase the payout. Or C, if you're not going to allow me to see what I'm catching, increase the odds of getting a high value fish. The solutions to every problem are so simple, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo won't fix them because they are weird. Controller drift has been a problem since the Wii was released. That was 2006. Why am I still getting Joy-Con drift videos in my recommended? Ultimately, the game suffers from a multitude of clunky little issues. Not just cutesy little ooh-woo moments, no. Mechanics and subtleties that genuinely piss me off and make me rage. 100%. I've been broke my entire life. People knew not to ask me for shit. I would always decline hanging out because I didn't want people paying for me. I know the value of $60. For me to want to purchase a game, I would have to know that it was worthwhile, something that I would derive a ton of fun from and would basically last me till my next birthday. Animal Crossing is the purchase I would have been glad to make. The game is not without flaws, as many games aren't, but the content behind the game far outweighs any of the problems I had. I also have a gamer rage problem, but the game is good, and I feel especially in this hectic point in time that the game came out, there's such a weird feeling of togetherness in playing, with friends, with randos, and the community. Everyone's out there building their own worlds and letting you get a peek. And the fact that we're all isolated and going through pretty much the same stuff, I don't know. I think it's really cute. So far, it's been a great way to spend my time, and I'm super stoked to see how my island develops. But this game is definitely not for everyone. If you're thinking about buying, let me ask you this. Do you ever find yourself spending a ridiculous amount of time doing something worthless? Are you artistic? I'm definitely not. And do any of the games you really enjoy require patience? Whether that be from grinding or waiting or whatever. If you answered yes to any of these, I think it's worth a shot. My name's Scamboli, and if you like this video, don't subscribe. I do videos about anime and stuff, but if you want to see more gaming videos, this is pretty much the announcement of my new channel. Haha, yay! So yeah, I'm gonna review games, hopefully in a much shorter format, which you will find in the description. Thanks to my patrons, I've been able to purchase this one, Doom Eternal, Star Wars The Fallen Order, and Lisa. So I'll talk about those when I can. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.